Experience the I Am Melanin Magic difference by going to our website www.IamMelaninMagic.com and purchasing your products today. I am Melanin Magic, and so are you. Welcome to Tunisia's Locs, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri, the channel where we get it all in. You can also learn more about the I Am Melanin Magic brand. Thank you for stopping by. Hello. Welcome to Tunisia's Locs, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri. Here you will find what I feel is information that is designed to arm you to be an advocate for yourself on this beautiful journey of Microlocks, whether you have Sisterlocks, Tiny Locks, whatever lock that you have. If it's little and it's not a traditional lock, then this channel just may be for you. I am here to raise awareness. All right. At first I started out here worrying about the cuteness of these locks, but so much has happened since the beginning of my journey. I'm now concerned with the practical side of doing what we need to do in order to support this hairstyle and in order to be able to kind of get this hairstyle to last. All right, or to do what you can to prolong the length of time that you are able to wear this style, because I am here to tell you, and y'all know I'm not a grid obsessor. Just gonna tell you right now, y'all know I retighten the front. I call it the front, but this is really more than the front. But this is the section that I'm retightening before I go to my retightening appointment tomorrow. And I'll talk to you more about that as I start the retightening process. However, this is not a style that is guaranteed to last. All right, period. Not in the discussion, but period. Reason being is because there are a lot of pitfalls on the way and ditches that you can fall into along the way if you're not careful. All right, and those pitfalls that you can fall into can cause all manner of things to happen and go wrong on your journey that cause you to be forced out of this. You know how like you have to do a short sale your house because you can't pay it, but you don't want to screw up your credit. You have to do a short sale. Okay, try to get out of this while you can. And then some people end up just being foreclosed on. They kind of want to stay in the journey even though all the signs are there that it's time to get out of the house because they can't afford it. And it's killing them. We have people like that too. And don't think you won't be one of them, because our hair is our glory. Our hair is our crown. We invest a lot of money into it. And when things start to go wrong, things that we didn't expect to go wrong, we could be in a situation where we keep trying to, I said my mom used to say, even a rat knows when to jump off a sinking ship. He may know when to jump off the sinking ship, but that doesn't mean he's going to jump off the sinking ship. It's not as easy as you may think when you start experiencing trouble with your hair on this journey to just do what could be the inevitable, which may be cutting your hair off, getting rid of Sisterlocks, or doing any other number of things. Now, I just uploaded a video several days ago, maybe a little bit more than a week ago, where I talk about, I give you 21 solutions to deal with thinning locks, all right? I give you 21 solutions. Those are some of the interventions and things that you may have to do that you may not be ready to do. They escalate. We don't start out with cutting them all out. There's certain things that we can do. And many of you that contact me gave up, you got frustrated, you took them down, or you cut them off. That may not be the only thing. And so you need to take your time, assess this, and that's why as I go through this retightening video, that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be talking about. Because, as I said, this journey is not a guarantee. It is a privilege. Now, I have already retightened a few of these up. I sure have. And they may not look like it, but that's the beauty of it, because they're not over tight, right? I can't tell you what these are right now. This is an arts and craft needle, plastic needle from Walmart. I got this off Etsy, but I did do a video on 11 Sisterlocks tools. Just look in the search. You can search within my videos by selecting videos and then putting in the search Sisterlocks tools. Or you can just go on YouTube and search Tanisha Ali and Sisterlocks tools. Or you can put in my handle, which is the ampersand at Tanisha Ali Sisterlocks tools, and see what comes up. I put the links to these in that particular video. Y'all know I'm not the best at doing that. My schedule is just too busy with all these different businesses, things I'm involved in. I can't always do that, but what I can do is direct you to where you can find the information. I may have the intention of putting it in there and then I just forget. But I am retightening my hair because I go to Ifraj tomorrow. That is my loctician. Her name is Ifraj, I-F-R-A-J, Suad. She's not taking new clients like a lot of locticians. She is only doing installs. She will install. And if she installs your locks, you will be satisfied. Okay? You still need to take every other mind enlightening precaution that I would have you do under any circumstances, regardless of who it is, so that you go in armed with knowledge. But she's a wonderful loctician. Neka, N-N-E-K-A. I think it's her name of her business is Neka Natural or something. Just search them both. They're in Atlanta. Ifraj's number, I believe, is 404-207-6281. Don't quote me on that. Either look at my subscription or do a Google search. Okay, try to avoid texting me, asking me for this information if I'm directing you to it and where you can get it from. I just don't have time to respond to that on a regular basis. I can try to get to it, but you could be waiting for a long time. So you all know that one of the things that is important to me, and by the way, I have a counterclockwise reverse 4. I'm going to call it a counterclockwise 12-9-6-3. That's what I'm going to call it, all right? So I go in at 9, all right? I pull through. I come up to 6. I pull through. I go in at 3. I pull through. And then I come back down at 12. That's considered one lap around the track, okay? Now, before I did that, you saw me separate the hair. You know, I want to make sure everything is clear. It is very easy to be looking at your hair and still combine a lock. And you're looking right at it. Not to mention when you get to the back. All right? So it's important to pay attention to what you're doing. I'm looking in the camera, but I also have a mirror here. I'm sitting in an area where I have a lot of sunlight coming in. I'm in my closet, but I got kind of a glare. I think that might be a little bit better, so I'm going to have to excuse that. But that's one rotation. Now, I could stop here. I'm going to go again, all right? So I'm going to go in here, this direction. Now, when I'm not talking to you and I'm paying attention, I'm sliding through very gently. All right? I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to feel any tension. This second one was much smoother. Listen to this. You hear that? Barely. Perfect. Okay? I want to do one more down just to have another complete lap. Here's the beauty of this, okay? The beauty of this is, feel that. Now, this is what you get to do when you service yourself. All right? Your loctician, I'm going to say I don't care who she is. Your loctician can't do that for you. Not that soft and not that gentle. To where it almost feels good. You know how when you were a kid and you used to have your kids playing your hair and you used to sit there and kind of fall off? That's what it can feel like. Is it going to take you 2, 3, 4, 5 days, maybe even a week? Maybe. In the long run, is it going to benefit you? Yes. And I'm going to tell you why. You hear me talk about it in all my videos. We got about 5 major things that are going to cause you to be a side wreck on the side of the street with this hairstyle. You're not going to be able to eliminate all of them. And the degree to which you mitigate these risks is going to determine how long you can have the style. For some of us, having to take these out and losing hair and thinning will be an inevitable realization. And it won't be, I'm talking to the people who it ain't got nothing to do with genetics, your genome, your DNA, your hereditary, you know, male, female pattern baldness. I'm not talking about y'all. Because with this style, The majority of the hair loss has nothing to do with that. And that's why I get miffed, but that's why I'm passionate about what needs to be talked about. Because people in the community that have a voice aren't talking about it. And not only are they not talking about it, now here's what you run the risk of when you're doing your own, is your grid it may not be perfect. If your name is Tanisha Ali, your grid ain't gonna be perfect. Is that a big thing to me? No, because I'm more concerned with the longevity of my locks and the style and breaking the cycle of hair foliage than I am about having a grid and OCD about that. Because that OCD stuff about that grid will have you sitting in on the side of the road in that train wreck with a perfect grid but missing about 50% of your locks. Ideally, you need to be using one of these little clips. Shout out to Havutu. Get these right from Amazon. Okay. I do have an Amazon store, y'all. I don't even know the link. I'm sorry. But these are hair clips. The salon people use them. Ideally, you want to try to isolate anything that is near that lock. Like I said, it can look like a shoe-in and it can look like it's deceptive. It can easily look like you are... See now, I'm trying to separate, pull a little bit of hair out. If you pull it and you can separate it, pull it very gently, and the hair is elastic. For all of y'all who don't use oil on your hair is going to pop. For those of y'all who listen to me and you put oil on your hair is elastic. And you can slide out a piece of hair oftentimes that's in another lock without that piece of hair snapping. And you saw this piece of hair just here. It was about this long. So it really should have been really wrapped up in that last lock because I don't have that much new growth at this time. Because I hadn't been using my I Am Melanin Magic. Because look, my hair has already gotten long. And to be honest with you, I may be facing some drastic measures down the line and need to cut my hair. Okay, one of those escalation strategies in my 21 solutions for thinning and hair loss for the lock journey. All right, so ideally, you might want to separate this part over here with another clip. If you are a newbie, I'm not going to do it because I have a good view and I can actually see what's going on here, okay? So, again, I'm going to go in this way. Feel how beautiful that feels? No stress. The hair is barely stressed out. This is what the loctician who's telling you to come in every 4 weeks, who is on the verge of really professional negligence. Shout out to you, Miss Loctician, the one who's out there who, from what I hear, was kind of talking a little trash on me because I said I didn't know what I was talking about because of 4-week rotations. That's fine. She's entitled to her opinion. Maybe she can call into me and enlighten me. And maybe she has had locks herself and she's been retightening them, honestly, every 4 weeks. But I tell you one thing, that ain't going to work forever. All right? This is not what your loctician can do for you. It's what you can do for yourself. Your loctician can't do that for you. This feels good. There's no pain. There's no discomfort. I did it slowly. Most of our locticians are on some type of a time schedule. They have other clients. And to be honest, it'd probably take your loctician 5 or more hours if she were doing it like this. For those of you who say your hair doesn't hurt, that may be true. But it doesn't mean that your hair is not experiencing some degree of trauma as that person rakes through there in an attempt to get you out of there before the next client. That's something we have to begin to change because that's something they teach them in the Sisterlocks class. And since very few of us can get any sound feedback from the brand, who may be, this is hearsay, putting out there that you need to get these reties done within a certain amount of time, that needs to be there needs to be an overhaul on that. Okay, you need to get the reties done in an amount of time that is consistent with hair preservation, period. Okay, so this is really something that, I'm trying to look for something to raise this up on. This is really something that we have to deal with. I'll use this baby wipe. Let's see if that'll work. It's something we have to deal with, all right? And until we start talking about it, until we start voting with our feet, until we start walking away or finding other alternatives or taking charge of our own hair journey. These are the kinds of issues we're going to be dealing with. Okay, now, this is a sensitive part of my hair. This is an area where a lot of people lose a lot of hair over time. I don't play when it comes to the front. I have been doing my locks in this area in some way. My hands have been in this area of my hair for some time now. All right. To me, it's worth it because this is the most high traffic area of my hair. This is where I'm pulling on my hair. This is where the tension is. If I'm styling it, putting it up, even if it's loose, this is where my hair feels the stress. So to me, I need to do what I can to minimize that stress and trauma or not add fuel to the fire. And for me, it's doing my own retightnings in this area, which I do not see that I will ever not do from this point on. That's also, of course, this is my story, disclaimer. Not asking you to do anything that I'm doing, just asking you to wake up to the reality that you can't afford to be a sheep. You can't take other people's advice. You got to do what makes sense to you intuitively. You got to be willing to get your hands in your hair and try different things. Now, I'm in this tool here. Now, you see that? You see how easy that was? These are my two favorite tools. All right, but this has a thicker base. This is what can be problematic for those of y'all that have these thin locks around here like I do. Some of you are using tools that are very big at the bottom. That's the advantage of using a tool that's similar to the Sisterlocks tool. Because once you do that initial, well, let me think about it. Hold up. That thing still has to come through there, but I feel like it may have a little less contact in a way, especially if you're skilled at using it, than something like this. However, this is frictionless. It's metal, it glides through, but it still can be wide. Now, I believe this was the smaller one that was available. There may be a smaller one, I don't know. This goes through better. I like it better. Okay, the top is a little more pointy, which I like, but it's plastic. So you're going to, by that very reason, you're going to get a little bit more friction in the hair, okay? See, I got a little bit of hair that's one piece. You see how I gently pull that back over? It didn't snap. Okay, that's because I do use oil on my hair. Even though I haven't put any in here probably this week over my whole head like I need to. So you see, fundamentally, right now, when I'm using the I Am Melanin Magic Oil and I'm using it 3 times a week over my whole head, I get a lot more growth. When I'm not using that particular oil, maybe once a week or once every other week, or I'm just more or less focusing it in on the front of my hair, I notice the decrease in the growth. That's not a problem for me, as I said, because my hair is getting so long, I'm considering maybe cutting some of it. All right, that's a consideration for me. I also know that my hair is very healthy because I've been using this stuff now for over 8 years. So I have built a foundation that is strong. And to me, if it means that I have to wash more thoroughly to make sure I get anything out of my hair, if it means that I have to go through and put this oil in my hair and massage it, and I have to put oil in my hair, then to me it's worth it. Because it's like taking a vitamin. All right, we take vitamins and things because we need to supplement, right? That's what makes sense. And sometimes our bodies need things that we just can't get from our food, right? So I really, before I'm doing this, should really have washed my hair. I'm going to wash it this evening, but I needed to have washed it before I started this. All right, but I wanted to show you guys what I was doing, and I can't do no video in the evening time. Look at me, ironically. I won't be doing any videos in the evening. All right, so here we go. Now here, this is close. I do need to separate this here, but I'm just going to pin it like this. So here we go again. Now I picked up this tool. It's a very thin lock. My locks are a lot thinner along these sides than they are up in the center. My hair has always been that way since I was born. This was the way I wanted all my locks, which is why I had my loctician to separate some of my locks in the beginning to get them smaller. Probably shouldn't have done that. It'll work well for you for a few years, but down the line you may wish that she had gotten locks that were a little bit larger. Okay, because that's something else that will contribute to extra thinning. Thinning that is inevitable in some cases, but also thinning that you can avoid to some degree. I need to go through there one more time. So, God bless the child who's got his own. Okay, it's one thing to know how to do a retightening of your locks on some level and choose not to do it. It's another thing to need to be able to do it and then not do it, not be able to do it. It's a whole nother animal there. To need to be able to do it and then not be able to do it. And here you are. I see I'm going a little bit more than I need to here, but I see an opening that I need to close. Okay, you got to pay attention, because you have to put this needle through evenly, because the last thing you want to do is pull it through where where you're inserting it is thick and where it's coming out is thin. Then you run the risk of having some other problem and weakening the hair. So we're going to stop there. I'm going to do another row. But yeah, so this is a high traffic area. I digressed quite a bit. What's going on in here? This is a high traffic area. And so because it is, I'm trying to preserve the integrity of my style. And I asked Efraj to rate the portion of my grid that I was doing, or my hair that I was doing. She said, well, it's okay. I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I said, do I at least get a 5? She said, yeah, you get a 5. I know I'm not perfect. And see, this is where the trade-off comes in. You got to know your personality. You got to know what it is to you that you're willing to weigh. For me, I'm not going to be that person. Y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. I did this style to get away from what I call the tyranny of hair enslavement. Even before I had locks and I used to do a relaxer, I was that person that could take a shower and get ready in the morning and be ready to go out in 20 minutes. Was never a person that spent a lot of time in the mirror fooling with hair, but my hair always looked good and I always took pride in how I looked. But I'm willing to sacrifice protection for time. And in this case, I'm willing to sacrifice, perfection for time. And in this case, I'm willing to sacrifice perfection for what? What do you think I'm getting ready to say? For safety and less trauma. Do I care about the grid? No. You know why? I'll tell you why. The physics of the grid. Let's talk about the grid briefly. Shout out to my lovely Cindy. There is becoming a growing amount of discussion around what grids contribute to thinning. And grids where, like this one, where you have a vertical line and everything is on that same line. You got a vertical line and then you got maybe 10 locks right on the same row. Versus more of a bricklaying or even a diamond grid. There are reasons why people are starting to call into question certain types of grids and the decisions around those grids and what may be a more suitable grid based upon what it is that you're looking for in terms of longevity. In other words, this may not be the best grid in the first place. Period. All right. And there may be something in your journey that may need to have you to start to consider that. So trying to worry about the perfection of that grid. No. Do I still have Sisterlocks? Hell yeah. Okay. If you want to challenge me about whether or not I have Sisterlocks, bring it on. But Sisterlocks is a state of mind. If they use the Sisterlock tool, I got the grid and I had a loctician to install them, I have Sisterlocks. Do I care if somebody calls them Microlocks? No. Are they tiny locks? Yes. Am I any better than anybody because I have Sisterlocks? Not at all, and neither are you. All right. They're all going to be the same soon, because Microlocks, the people that are installing Microlocks, whereas when I first started the journey, the price used to be half. It's almost the same now. So you tell me what the difference is going to be. Okay? Really. Yeah, so I'm going in 9 o'clock or, northeast, southwest. So we're talking about east, south, west, north. Okay, I'm coming on over here. Pay attention. It's easy to combine something. Before you pull it through, always kind of move it around. Make sure you have rotated or put your point in where you thought you did. Use your hands to feel around. Okay? Y'all, we're going to be doing a live retightening on Zoom between now and my next retie. And I invite you to come on and either share with us, those of you who have been retightening, do some demos for us on camera. I invite those of you, because I'll be doing something very similar to this, but not if y'all are on there and y'all are doing demos. There'll be no reason for me to do it. All right, I'll be guiding the discussion. But it's also an opportunity for those of you all who are feeling fearful about this and putting your hands in your hair and just have never done it before and can't conceive of doing it. No one is saying that you need to do it now, but what I'm saying is there may come a time where doing it, attempting to do it, or starting to consider the fact that you are capable of doing it is something that you have to come to terms with. Okay, and better now than later. Better now where you can see what you can do to develop the skills and, you know, pick up some tips of the trade along the way. So we're going to do that live Zoom, whereby it'll be between now, and I will announce it. I'll be announcing it in my videos after this one when I decide on a date that's going to work. If you watch this now, tell me what day of the week would be better for you. More than likely, it's going to have to be a Saturday night. Okay? That's what I'm thinking. A Saturday night or a Sunday afternoon. But put that in the comments. I'll be mentioning it. I will also put it in a community post, which will be a little post with a picture and some words. It'll be in the community tab, right where you see home, videos, playlists, shorts. There'll be a community tab, and I'll do a post when I decide on the day as well. I wasn't paying attention. I might have missed one of the points. Is it the end of the world? No. Am I going to cry about it? No. Do I see any holes in any of my locks for the last umpteen years? No. Okay, if you're going to be anal about something, y'all, because a lot of y'all are anal about the wrong thing. A lot of you are anal about your grid. You're anal about these styles. You're anal about this gel that you may be putting on there. Some of you are anal about using extensions when you get them established. What you need to be anal about are these retightenings. You need to be anal about trying to defer or delay, like I said, what can be for some of us an inevitable end, which is thinning. I talked about there are 5 main risks to this hairstyle, and you need to understand that. I call this an at-risk style because it is, and it's a part of this journey that people just aren't talking about, and they need to be talking about it, y'all. And until we start raising a little bit of hell, they're not gonna talk about it. And those of you who may not be having problems with your hair, I'm not having any problems with my hair. But we all still need to start raising hell and being willing to be heard or being a force to be reckoned with, because your time is coming. All right? Your time may be coming. And this is something that, you know, you need to be mindful of. It really is. And you can't afford to wait until hair loss is upon you. You have to be proactive. All right? So, you know, it's something to really consider and think about. Learning how to do your own retightening. Okay, you may not do the whole retightening initially. You may only do you know, 1 or 2 locks or something like that. See, sometimes getting that part perfectly straight is just a matter of going in and moving a little tiny piece of hair, and you can do that with your tool. It's not going to collapse if you don't, your hair situation is not going to collapse if you don't do it. But then a lot of you all who are using my oils, it's like Dion, and I think Naturally Locked was saying they got so many little fine pieces of hair growing in that are rebelling because they're using that magical hair growth serum or either the spray. You got to be careful when you're getting gathering the hair, and make sure and making sure that it's actually going in the lock, especially when you start having a lot of stray hairs. For those of you who have lost hair or experienced some thinning, or in my case didn't know that to think that there was even anything that needed to be remediated, because when I was growing up, my hair was always thinner on these sides. And it wasn't until last year I started using the serum that I started getting a little bit of extra fuzz coming in, that I was like, well, dang, you mean to tell me that I didn't just have to accept this, that I can get a little more filling in here? Which is why when I do my retightening now, y'all don't see as much of the plucked chicken as you used to see. All right. So, you know, that's pretty much what I wanted to say to y'all regarding this whole thing, is that reties are important. We're going to be doing that retie Zoom. For anybody that comes in, know that the video will be posted on YouTube. Okay, I'm expecting for you to interact and to share your experiences, maybe even to demonstrate a demo on the Zoom. You know, when you're on Zoom, the person that's talking, the camera focuses on them. So as long as you're talking, you have the ability to go through a rotation, or to show us how you're doing something, or to just talk to us about some of the things that help you when you do your retie. I think it's important that we have a support group for one another. I think it's important that we do a lot of things differently than the way we have been doing them with this style, because y'all, I can tell you, I think the reason why, when we start to get to be this age, those of you who are in my demographic, I'm 51, but when you're in your late 30s, especially your 40s and 50s, 60s and above, you're not playing when it comes to the decisions you make. You expect results. You're not as easy to be as flexible and resilient as some of these young people are when it comes to something like your hair situation. In other words, when we get this style, we expect it to last, right? We don't expect to be sitting up a few years from now, like some of you telling me, having lost your whole hair or been sitting up with someone who's a master cosmetologist and been in your head, set you up with the locks, had you in there doing those retightnings every 6-7 weeks, or for some of y'all every 5 weeks, and then you start experiencing hair loss and they don't really want to acknowledge what's going on. And then pretty soon the communication becomes very scant. And then in the case of some of y'all, you don't hear from them anymore. That's not okay. And then we don't have a way to let each other know about what's going on when those situations happen. And that's something I think a lot about too. That's a need we have that needs to be filled. All right. So, you know, let's just continue to think about what we can do to arm ourselves with information and to publicize and celebrate those locticians who love us and are concerned about our hair health, and not just about what it is that they are expecting us to pay them. These are the people who, while they may not be perfect, if you have a concern, you can bring that concern to them. See, before I pull this all the way through, I need to make sure it's not connected to anything. Yes, but if you have a concern, you can air that concern in an environment of safety. And you can know that you're going to be heard. I'm going to pull this out from here. I'm not supposed to be doing this one, but it's just too much. This is just my OCD. I can't say it's too much anything. It's a lot more new growth, but I don't need to be doing this one anyway. You probably notice your hair grows at different rates. Okay, my hair grows a lot more in this area and at the back than it does around the top. It's always been that way. My hair's always grown in a V shape in the back. It still does that with my Sisterlocks. But yeah, we've got to start addressing these issues, y'all. And until we start sounding off, until we start raising awareness, until we start raising our expectations, and until we start taking our fate in our own hands with regard to our hair, we're going to find ourselves in these situations of disempowerment. So that's another reason why this channel exists, to empower you to make more wise decisions when it comes to your hair. All right, because all of us deserve to lengthen the amount of time we're able to wear this style, because it's an investment. It's not just any old style. And I'm talking about for those of us that have Microlocks, tiny locks, Sisterlocks, whatever kind of lock you have, that's a little lock like this. You didn't get this style Watch out for that because you do not want any knots. This is why it's important to focus. You don't want to be on the phone or doing what I'm doing when you're trying to do this. You really need to be paying attention, y'all. Okay? But yeah, once you've done this and you go in and you see a loctician, your directive to them is to let them know that anything that's already retightened and can't get a rotation or doesn't have enough for a rotation, leave it alone. You want these to, when you pull them, to still have a little bit of give. Anything that's really tight to your scalp is going to be problematic, and you don't need it. Okay, it's not good for you. So I think I'm going to continue doing this. I got to get this done by tomorrow. I don't know how successful. I definitely need to get more. Need the front done of the front done. I got some of the side done already, but I'm not gonna get this done staying on this video with y'all. I love y'all. I hope that you find some value in this, and let's continue to raise the level of awareness in the community. Because honestly, even with the people that are in the so-called Sister Lock Mafia, those of y'all who coined that phrase crack me up, and I don't mean it in a disparaging way, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Even the people in the Sisterlocks Mafia are going to find pretty soon they're going to leave that mafia when they start having the same type of issues I talk about on this channel. And all the people that they've been dead, steadfast, loyal to, not doing this, not doing that, being OCD about this and that, they're going to find that none of that is going to save them. For whom the bell tolls. I love y'all. Don't forget to give this video a like. Show your love, show your love, show your love. If you haven't purchased my book, Manifesting Your Masterpiece, you can get it on Amazon. All right. Don't forget to share this video. Please comment, comment, comment. Keep an eye out for when we're going to do that Zoom. And don't forget, those of you that come on the Zoom need to be prepared to know that the Zoom is going to go live. Not when we're doing it, but in some weeks after we do it, the Zoom will be public, in the public domain. Okay. I love y'all. Bye.
If you are not using I Am Melanin Magic hair oil, then what are you using?
Hey guys, so I started using this oil called I Am Melanin Magic since February of this year, and check out the new growth. Like, it's insane. Not only did it help with my new growth, but it smells amazing too.
See the dramatic improvements Denisha has made after not having hair around her edges for 3 years. Tanya's hair had been like this for almost 20 years, and while getting injections. Her doctor said it was scarred and would never grow back. After 4 weeks of using I Am Melanin Magic, this is what she looked like. I Am Melanin Magic did this to Danette's hair after a short time. Hi, I'm the creator of the I Am Melanin Magic hair and skincare brand. My vision has always been to develop a line of products that meets the unique needs of melanated people. The I Am Melanin Magic hair oil is our premier product. It is the leading high-end supplement for your mane.
It reduces breakage, promotes growth, and can be used on all hair types and looks, from straightened hair and microlocks to wigs and protective styles. It's antifungal, antibacterial, and anti-funk, so you know you're protected.
It softens and conditions your hair, and it's anti-frizz too.
This really is all you need. It's rich with antioxidants, loaded with growth-promoting ingredients. Look at the growth of my hair. The proof is in the product. Need I say more? Don't delay. Purchase yours today.
I Am Melanin Magic, and so are you.